The people protesting at Trump rallies should really learn a thing or three from the Verizon protesters. You know, those people hanging outside of the Verizon stores not on a day when the new iPhone or Galaxy comes out. When you protest like this, the goal of a protest should be to influence people into not supporting the thing you're protesting against. Unfortunately, the Trump protesters seem to have the opposite effect, which is a liberal, or dare I even say it now after watching this fucking footage, a progressive myself. It could be a very bad thing come November when Trump could be the next president. I'm not one to be swayed by the opinions of people supporting or rebutting each participant because you're voting for the candidate, not the people. However, this behavior can definitely sour the opinions of neutral parties, which is actually not what your protest intention should be. Let's break this down. Verizon Union protesters are walking up and down sidewalks outside of Verizon store locations without interacting, mostly, with anyone else aside from a wave as a sign of appreciation when the passerby honks their horn in solidarity. They're not instigating and certainly not being disrespectful. Location is important as they're protesting for a neutral audience, the people that will be potentially buying or more than likely standing around for 45 minutes while the person in front of you argues with the customer service representative about some mundane bullshit. And their tactics are non-confrontational. They're holding up signs which basically everybody can agree with. My camera footage kind of sucks, but the signs say stop corporate greed and fighting for jobs, not pay. I don't even know what the details are behind their disagreement, but I don't like corporate greed, and I like jobs, so they've already persuaded me onto their side with those simple, generic messages and non-confrontational attitude. Contrast that with the Trump protesters, of which my buddy Skag3 has done a great job of destroying in his videos. They've got megaphones to shout their ideology at people walking by, and while I do agree with some of their points...
Fuck colonialism! Fuck slavery! Fuck genocide!
Yeah, I don't like colonialism or slavery or genocide either, but those aren't the three pillars of Donald Trump's proposed policies. At least the Verizon signs are rooted in truth. The Trump protesters are arguing with people as they enter or leave the rally, which is not to a neutral party like Verizon is above. However, a polling place where one could reach neutral voters is against the law for protests or campaigning, so the rally is probably the next best location. However, you have to remember your audience. Since the people that are going to a Trump rally already have their mind made up, they're kind of a lost cause, as even people I know who are going to be voting for Trump don't go to his rallies. So those that are, or have even purchased memorabilia for Make America Great Again, aren't the target audience. Talk about wasting your fucking time. Then, of course, is the worst type of confrontation, actually cold cocking someone in the fucking face. Well, even worse is that this is actually a sucker punch, and it's all because this dude wanted to get his hat back from a protester that snatched it off of his head. And the signs on these fuckers saying that Trump is a Hitler clone, even though he's got the hair and blue eyes, he's missing the mustache. And there's a difference between Hitler-like demagoguery and Hitler-like policies, of which Trump only shares universal health care. When your rhetoric is as inflammatory as the person that you're trying to accuse of inflammatory rhetoric, the message gets lost as the pot calls the kettle black. Combine this with the destruction of police cars and burning of the American flag, and now you've alienated more people than Trump does. I'm not one who shrugs off police brutality or militarization, nor am I super patriotic when it comes to putting out a flag on national holidays, but even I am turned off by these actions, and it's not a good look and irrelevant to the overall message. The Trump protesters need to take some cues from the people at Verizon. Throw away your Hitler signs and replace them with things like Trump is the 1%, or Trump divides his party and the people, or Trump's policies are bad for us. Get it? Because it could mean like the collective us or the US, depending upon how you look at it. Make your message something that most people would agree with, even without knowing the intricate details. Toss out the megaphones and don't argue with people that aren't going to be won over. Instead, put duct tape on your mouth as a sign of solidarity and put something fancy on the front with a Sharpie. This way you can't argue with people, even if they spew stupid ass shit at you. Finally, destruction of property is probably not an ideal action. It costs someone money, whether it be you buying the flag to destroy or the taxpayers that have to call Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace to fix up that cop car. And while I agree with Bill Maher that it's not the authoritarian or regressive left that has led to the rise of Trump, they certainly don't inspire the undecideds to listen to your message that Trump equals bad. As someone who is a liberal but a libertarian leftist, the authoritarian left will inevitably assist Donald Trump in getting votes, which is something that I think could be very, very bad. So that's why I give a shit. The regressive left is augmenting the very thing they ought to be destroying. You guys are going to be voting for Hillary or Bernie anyways. Try not to cancel out your vote by persuading people to the other side. I've been the Swans 27, making like a wheelbarrow and rolling out. Until next time.